Here at Track and Field, Coach Niels Anderson and Senior Bryan Ortmann. Guys, thanks for being here today, talking a little track and field. Coach, we were just talking off camera. November 1, you guys started. It's now the middle of January. You guys have got to be chomping at the bit to get into a real competition with other individuals.
Absolutely. We have put a lion's share of the work in that we needed to do, and now we finally have gotten to that place where we have to compete. Everybody's really fired up. I've seen a lot of evidence that suggests we're going to have another great year.
And Bryan, senior year, no pressure on you or anything, but how do you approach this year compared to years past? Because really, this is your last hurrah, so to speak.
I can say that I've definitely taken everything a lot more seriously. That it's my last year now, especially in the weight room. I feel like it's really helped. And
Coach, if you can shed some light on the type of person, athlete, and individual that Bryan is heading into this senior year?
Well, Bryan, the reason I asked Bryan to be here is because I kind of wanted to laud his honors here. He exemplifies everything that we are looking for in possible recruits. He works incredibly hard. He's incredibly dedicated. He is a great example to all of our young underclassmen. So over and over, repeatedly, he's at every single practice on time, doing every single rep. I never have to really hold him back. He has put in, along with Coach Sager, a ton of work into the weight room, and so as he said, he's ready to reach new distances.
Bryan, do you put any pressure on yourself? Do you have some goals that you'd like to see this year as you head into this season?
Yeah, put a lot of pressure on myself, actually. Yeah, I'd like to move up a few places in conference and get the team a few more points.
And Coach, now let's talk a little bit in a broad expanse on the men's side. You guys kick off this Saturday here at St. Mary's. Who should we be looking for on the men's side in terms of people to watch?
Yeah, well, obviously Bryan is here, and so I'll be real curious to see how he does. But we have just a bevy of underclassmen right now that are going to be fun to watch. As you know, he's probably tired of hearing his own name mentioned, but Morris is coming back as a sophomore, school record holder. Ross Kinderman looks fantastic. We have a couple of other freshmen that are going to be to watch. Desmond Stewart is another name that I think will be exciting to watch. Obviously, Javon Newsom is a school record holder in numerous events, indoor, outdoor, cross country. So we're excited about what he's going to bring to the table this year.
And how about flipping it over to the women then? Who should we be watching? Aside from Maria Mizzarelli, who everybody should know by now, right. But who should we be looking for on the women's side?
Same thing. Obviously Maria is our school record holder, so she'll get her day in the sun numerous times over. But we're excited about Kinsey Smedsrud. She's a freshman who's come in, who's going to be a really good hurdler, really strong, powerful athlete. We have a great group of really young, pretty much all freshmen throwers, Liz Loken, Natalie King, Madeline Eichers. So that's a trio to watch for sure. They've been working really hard. And then again, we have a couple qualifiers from the conference meet in the distance side that were mentioned. So Paige Schoenecker and Alicia Birkenes are also on there. And
Bryan, as Coach alluded to there, a lot of young athletes on both the men's and the women's side. As one of the seniors of this team, how do you see your role as a leader? And it sounds like from Coach Anderson, you lead by example. But how do you help some of the younger people as they get ready for not only this first meet but this first season as a Cardinal?
Well, a lot of these freshmen also haven't been in a collegiate meet, so they don't really know what to expect. So I've been helping them prepare with a mindset mentally for that.
And I know, Coach, you and I have talked about this, but I'm going to throw this at Bryan. Talk a little bit, as a jumper, talk a little bit about the difference between jumping indoors and then jumping outdoors, because I'm not sure we'll get to see you again prior to the outdoor season, but talk a little bit about the difference and how you approach it differently.
Well, the main difference is temperature. Like outside, our season is pretty cold usually, and there's always a wind factor, so you have to worry about that and variable steps with the approach.
So is it safe to assume you'd rather be jumping indoors than outdoors?
Yes.
Coach, talk lastly about this weekend. The Cardinal early Birdinal is on Saturday here at St. Mary's. expectations for the meet, and what do you want to see from your athletes?
Yeah, this is going to be a new meet this year in the sense that we're bringing a couple extra teams in, so the competition level is going to be higher and better, which allows us to really fill out the events and get a real sense of competitive juices flowing. It's when it's a dual or triangular, sometimes some events are weaker than others. Now this weekend we'll really have it filled out lane for lane all the way in every event. So everybody's going to get a chance to compete against some high quality competition. And then, next week we'll be able to, converse about how did it go? Did we fulfill my expectations? But I'm really excited about the upcoming season for sure. I think we have a lot of new talent, and we have some great senior leadership to kind of guide them throughout the process here.
St. Mary's Early Birdinal kicks off the indoor season on Saturday here at St. Mary's. Good luck to both of you this weekend and all season.
Thank you.
Thank you.